Hi YouTube, Fuzz here, welcome back to Final Fantasy IX, and we are once again doing an Excalibur II playthrough, perfect game, whatever you want to call it, based on Thomas's GameFaqs walkthrough, which I'll put a link in the description as usual. This will be covering section D2-14 of that aforementioned walkthrough. So I'm going to try something a little bit different today, because I've gone through a practice run of this session, and it seemed fairly simple, so I'm going for a live commentary here, rather than post-recording commentary, just to save myself some time. So we'll see how we get on. Hopefully I won't have to do a lot of editing, because that's going to make things a bit choppy, but I don't think it will be the case. I have to need to do that. So I'm just going to stick fast high-speed mode on, and no battles, and that'll pretty much get us through this episode. There's a lot of dialogue to get through. There's a few choices we need to make in the dialogue, but other than that, it's not a whole lot we need to do. So this is Madain Sari. And as you probably guessed, as soon as we come in, we get a bunch of cutscenes that we need to go through. We're also going to be getting our next moonstone today. So if you are looking forward to getting the trophy for collecting 4 moonstones, then we're going to be well on our way towards that. Right, so now we're going to get control of Zidane again, and at this point we're just going to exit to the bottom right and go straight back to kick off one little bit more piece of dialogue with Zidane there. And then we're going to go ahead and be forced to watch the Ico's Feeling ATE. Now, you get some choices in this ATE, but you don't need to make them. Just keep hitting the X button and you'll pick the default options, which is absolutely fine. Later on we will have to make some other choices, but not right now. To slow things down a bit, there's a chest here. It can be a bit of a pain to get because you keep talking to Dagger. Oh, I got it first time. How wonderful. And now we're going to head over to the left side of the screen and make our way over to where Ico's house is. And if we try and go in, then a Moogle called Morrison is going to pop out. So before we go over to the Eidolon wall, we're going to bring Dagger along with us. And she's located just by the entrance. Sometimes the high-speed mode is more of a hindrance than a help, isn't it? Especially with the way the controls work in the ported version of the game. Sometimes the analog can be a little bit annoying to use. Alright, so there's going to be a new ATE at this point. Ico's Kitchen. We'll go ahead and select this. And we will have to make some choices. You don't have to do this, but if you want to get the correct dinner, then it's important to do what I do here. So the first choice we're going to make is how much water we're going to pour, and it's going to be for 11 people, so we're going to go ahead and select 11 there. And then the next question is going to be whether or not to add an oglop. Oh, no, we're supposed to pick no. Okay. Okay, take 2 on this. So we don't want to put the oglop in. Just be careful when you're mashing that X button that you don't screw up like I did there. Thank goodness for the auto-saving. And now Chimara, whatever this guy's name is, Chimomo down here, has caught a fish. And we're going to lend a hand in catching that fish. So that's the second option for that. This is completely optional, by the way. Thomas's walkthrough guide says you don't even need to do this. But then we're going to head over to the right hand side, which will bring us over to the Eidolon wall. And we're going to have another brief set of cutscenes here, so I'll just speed things up for a moment. Okay, now we can leave, and then we get another ATE, Ico's Kitchen 2, so we'll go ahead and watch that. So we'll ask Queen for advice. Alright, so after that now we're going to make our way back over to Aiko's house. This time we'll be able to go in and have some food. Okay, so we're going to be getting control obviously down once more. There's 2 chests we need to grab, and they're just both on opposite sides of one another, back to back. So try and get through. You can't get all the way across. And then we're also going to go ahead and pick up the pot, which I think we need to do from this side. There we go. And now we're going to go and bring this over to Aiko. So the ether tree is now getting spoken about. See if Aiko knows anything about it. Seeing as how she does live quite close by. Right, so now we're going to just grab some coffee, which is located down here. And then we're going to go ahead and try and leave the house. But a Moogle's going to stop us. Ask us if we want to sleep. We do. That's going to kick off the next part of the story here. So Aiko's not sure that she wants to come with us, but of course she does. Oh, we do need to go ahead and just put no encounters on after... I did go ahead and restart at one point, didn't I? Right, so now we're going to head back to the mountain path. And the first thing we're going to want to do, if you haven't already, then grab the yellow stone out of there. We can do that on the way up, actually. First we need to go down here, grab the ether, and then there's one final stone, which is the green stone. Which we're going to take. That'll give us all 4 stones. All 4 different coloured stones. And... if you want to keep at least one of each item in your inventory as part of a perfect walkthrough, or perfect game, then you have the choice of doing that here by not handing these stones in as part of the side quest, and you'll keep them in your key item list. But you will miss out on a moonstone, which in my opinion is more important, so that's what I'm going to get. And in order to do this, we head back to this screen with the Susie Moogle and head to the right hand side. And here we can put all of the stones that we've collected now into the statue here. And then we get the next moonstone. Wonderful. So now we're going to make our way back. And this time we're going to take the opposite way out of this place, the mountain path. We're going to take the left fork rather than the right, which is what we've done previously. This is where we fought the boss. We're going to go this way next. And we're just going to make our way over to the tree itself. And we can equip before we go in and save if you want to, but I'm not going to bother. I don't think it's necessary. And just equip my characters as I do here. So, dagger, ritual hat, mithril armlet, survival vest, and... the sapphire will get Zidane going correctly. Dagger should already be set up, so I'm going to leave her. Ice staff for Vivi, headgear. And then we'll go ahead and remove the collar ring off from him. Aiko. Oops. Aiko, I said, wants the Maltina racket. And we can just remove the feather hat. Right, in terms of abilities, the guide does talk about having auto potion equipped. But whether you think that's necessary or not, I'll just leave that up to you, because we do have the ability to heal instantly anyway. I haven't actually yet learnt Protect Girls, which is annoying. I think the guide expects you to have done so by now, so I can't actually equip that. Anyway, if you head over into the Aether tree, or the Aether tree, or whatever it's called. It's definitely 2 eyes, by the way. A lot of people call it the Life or Leafer tree, but it's not an L. Right, we're going to ask Aiko. And in we go. So we're just going to make our way along the routes. There is quite a few. You will get random enemy encounters here if you haven't enabled safe travel. If you do go the route with enemy encounters, then you don't want to do more than 1. Okay, that's the amount that is accounted for in the time limits. So we'll speak to Mochi here, or Mochi, and go ahead and do Mognet. We'll give him a letter. And then we'll save. And that brings us to the end of the session. So I'll go ahead and save here, and then we'll have a look at my target time. Oh, it makes it so much easier when I can do the live commentary. It really does. No, save! Oh, look at the hassle of having to go through this again. The good thing about not doing live commentary, though, is that I can edit all this rubbish out. Now you've got to put up with it, I'm afraid. But I do want to show you my time. Right, so that was a nice easy one really, wasn't it? Nothing too complicated with that at all. So let's go back to the title screen, and then we can see the exact time that I've gone. The actual target time by this point is 5 hours, 33 minutes and 38 seconds. So I know we're going to be less than that. How much less, I'm not yet sure. We are actually on 5 hours and 12 minutes and 49 seconds. Very good, so we're just over 20 minutes ahead of schedule now. And it does help when you can fast forward through the dialogue, as we did in that instance. So the actual target time for this episode was 11 minutes 52 seconds, so we've done it quite a bit faster. Obviously because of that speed up and, you know, being able to turn off random enemy encounters. So I hope this has helped you folks. If it has, don't forget to leave a like and let me know in the comments section what your time is. And come back soon and we'll carry on with our Final Fantasy IX playthrough. Goodbye.